Hello and welcome to the Horror of It All Movie Podcast, Video Edition. I'm Eric. This time I'm going to be talking about my favorite Severin releases, leading right into Severin Nukes, the mid-year sale. I'm not going to go into as much detail as I do sometimes. It's going to be kind of a quicker video, I'm hoping. But like I said, I wanted to get this done by the sale because I have some recommendations and favorites, so let's get right into it. I will also be doing a honorable mention, like I always do. And it's going to be a mixture of old shit and some newer stuff. I've been buying from Severin for a long time. Big Severin fan. And I guess that's it. I thought I was going to say something else. But anyway, my first pick is actually a pick that I finally watched last night. Really, really enjoyed it. I'm not going to go into too much detail with every single release. Some of them I definitely will say something I like about it, and so on. But what I'm talking about right now is The Black Cat. Luigi Cozzi's The Black Cat. I thought it was really good. I didn't see... There wasn't a lot of a black cat in the story, but it was an interesting story. It almost had a later 80s Lucio Fulci feel, kind of. I am a big fan of Luigi Cozzi. My favorite one of his is Contamination, but The Black Cat would probably be my second favorite. On the disc, there is a really good interview with Luigi Cozzi and actress Caroline Munro. Luigi Cozzi, in a rare occasion, is speaking in English with this, so there's no subtitles, as well as the disc is in English. But yeah, it's basically surrounds like this director and this actresses, and they're talking about making a sequel to Suspiria. It's a interesting thing, but it definitely leads into like a demonic thing, but like I said, I won't go into too much detail, but supernatural demon, that's what the word I'm looking for, it says right there. But yeah, The Black Cat. My next thing is something that I believe came out with the Black Friday sale, Tales of the Uncanny. This originally was only supposed to be a featurette, a special feature, but they got so much great shit that they made a documentary about anthology horror, and it's really, really good. I will say most of the interviews were taken during COVID times, so be that as accordingly, kind of like this. This video interview is kind of like this. I got the one in the sale, so it does come with an extra disc. This, I believe, will be on sale. But the Black Cat, I believe, the Black Cat, yeah, the Black Cat will be on sale. So I was kind of winging this, so I wanted to make sure I did all of them that were on sale, and then some honorable mentions that may not be on sale, but definitely still recommend to check it out. This next one is an older, well, it's not too old, 2019, Invasion of the Blood Farmers. This is something else. And I don't know of many that have this Severin logo. I have the t-shirt. It's kind of like the like Pride type thing. I'm guessing that's what it is. This one has some good special features. It has 4 different special features. Interview with the director and actresses. The director one is really cool. He's had an interesting life. He did some movies, and then he worked in like the pinball industry, and there was some interesting stuff. But this is definitely a 1970s grindhouse classic. Kind of has a feel of like, at least that's what I got anyway. Somebody might not, but it kind of has a feel of almost Herschel Gordon Lewis-esque, like atmosphere or acting or whatever. But yeah, Invasion of the Blood Farmers. Okay, the next one is a Nazi exploitation shocker. It's video nasty. So if you want to collect video nasties, this movie is something else. The Beast in Heat. And it is exactly what it sounds like. Even worse than what it sounds like. There are definitely some scenes in there that are questionable. I had a blast. I love shit like that. I don't care. But definitely do it accordingly. DVDtalk.com said, hard and nasty stuff for those who appreciate the kind of depravity that only Italy could produce in the sadistic 70s. But yes, this was a video nasty. There is a documentary on here called Fascism on a Thread, The Strange Story of Nazi Exploitation Cinema. It's a feature-length documentary. And then there's another interview with Stephen Thrower, who's all over Severin Disc, and I love Stephen Thrower. I love his books. I'm going to get some more Stephen Thrower with those releases coming up, so that'll definitely be fun. Next is also one that I think will be on, I'm pretty sure will be on sale, and I think you can still get this. I haven't heard about anything out of print, but some old Amicus anthology. Speaking of anthologies from before, Asylum. They have a few good anthologies, Severin. This one is probably my favorite of the ones they have, but Asylum is fun. If you like old Amicus stuff, it stars Peter Cushing. I don't have a lot to say about it other than I really think it's good. BritishHorrorFilms.co.uk have to say, a fantastic film, a top-notch example of British horror with laughs, scares, and enough action to keep any viewer glued to your seats. Classic Amicus anthology. For special features, it has Two is a Company, a 1972 on-set report from BBC featuring interview with producer, director, actors, art director, a whole bunch of stuff. A featurette with David J. Sorcho. I'm terrible with names, as you know, if you've watched before. Featurette, Inside the Fear Factory featurette with some directors, Freddie Francis being one of them. He did some of those and like the Hammer stuff, and I really like that kind of stuff. And then it has an audio commentary with the director and camera operator. So yeah, Asylum. Check it out. It's a 2017 release, so I bet it will be pretty decent price. Another one that will probably be super cheap is the Ozploitation horror classic Patrick. I really, really like this movie. It's basically almost like telepathy type of movie, I think. Is that what am I saying it right? Or thinking right? Anyway, this one I might read a little bit on it. The original Ozploitation classic is back like you've never seen it before. Robert Thompson stars as a comatose killer seemingly unresponsive in a small private hospital. When a hot new nurse begins to question his condition, Patrick unleashes a waking nightmare of psychokinetic carnage. It's fun, and it has a score by Goblin, which is cool considering it's like an Ozploitation. Mostly theirs are like Italian stuff, but they also put out. Sorry about that. Hold on a second. They also put out Patrick Still Lives. That is the Italian sequel. But definitely check this one out too. It doesn't really, these do not connect. It's just a typical Italian thing where they wanted to do a sequel to a movie that was a hit. So yeah, Patrick. Another older release from 2017. This one, when I watched it, I was blown away by this movie, and it comes with a cool pin. I don't know if you can still get the pin. It might be in clearance, but it was called Dark Waters. There's a few movies called this. This one is the 1994 movie directed by Marino Bayano. I'm probably saying that completely wrong, but a lost masterpiece of art house horror. This is very, very good. There's some great special features, audio commentary, 1, 2, 3, 4 featurettes, director intro, deleted scenes, short films by the director, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 short films, I believe. Yeah, but this is definitely something else. Very atmospheric. Comingsoon.net has to say tense and stuffed full of Lovecraftian terror. Dark waters. There's some interesting stuff too in the special features about like the filming, where they filmed and stuff like that. Now experience the modern non-exploitation masterpiece, Dark Waters. Highly, highly recommend that. All right, I didn't realize I had all my older ones on the top. This one came out a while ago, 2016. Okay, I always feel like it came out so long ago, but again, like they released so many good releases that I believe you can still get this. Sorry if you can't. I think you can. Dr. Butcher, MD. And as you're gonna see, pretty much for the rest of my recommendations, almost, are all Italian. Severin is huge on releasing Italian. Some great Italian ones at that. Dr. Butcher, MD was also known as Zombie Holocaust. This is the alternate on the wrap. This is an older release. I don't know if you can still get it the way it is right now because it comes with a barf bag. They gave these out in the theaters in like 42nd Street and stuff like that. Not this one, but it's still really cool. I've always really liked this movie. I actually have multiple copies of the movie, not from Severin, but I have Severin's and I have 88 Films, and I think I have one more, but I really, really like this movie. It's one of the few Italian movies that Ian McCullough did. He was of zombie fame, and he was also in Contamination. This one I will read a little bit. I'm going to actually just give you an idea. These are the special features, so there's a ton of shit. Disc 1 is Dr. Butcher MD. Tons of interviews. Lots of 42nd Street type stuff. Disc 2 is Zombie Holocaust, which is the other title. I don't think there's anything really different with them. I don't remember, to be honest with you. It's been a little while, but it sparked riots on 42nd Street and spawned a generation of gorehounds on VHS and forever set an insane standard for Italian mad doctor / zombie / cannibal carnage worldwide. Another highly recommend, if you can still get it, Dr. Butcher MD or Zombie Holocaust. If you can't get it from Severin, like I said, there are other versions. I think this is the American one. I know it's the American one. What am I saying? I think it's the American one. No, but definitely highly recommend this one. This, if I had to make like a top 10 or a top 5 even Severin, this would be in it. Okay, this next one was interesting. This was a blind buy, which Severin's not as much of a blind buy as Vinegar Syndrome. I don't think anything is, but for me. But and I'm not saying that in a bad way. If you've been watching my channel, you know how much I love Vinegar Syndrome. Anyway, I digress. This one, I won't show you the cover I have out first. Emmanuel and Franconos. I'm not sure what the name is there. I barely even have looked at that because the cover isn't necessarily, well, this cover is pretty great. Blood Vengeance. I don't want people to get confused. That's why I wanted to show you that. It's even on the disc. This is a Joe D'Amato sleaze masterpiece on disc for the first time in America. WhatCulture.com has to say one of the sleaziest Italian exploitation movies ever. And they're not wrong. D'Amato proved his sex and violence credentials here. It's still strong stuff. George Eastman of Anthropophagus fame, and man, he did a lot. He did a movie with Lamberto Bava. I mean, not Lamberto Bava. Mario Bava. I know that was sacrilege to some, like me mixing up the names. Sorry. But that was really good. And he's in my favorite movie of his, which will be coming up soon in my recommendations. I'm not going to really go into this. It does have an interview with George Eastman and actress Maria Rosaria Rizzi? Sorry. Do know it's Joe D'Amato. That's what's Joe D'Amato, George Eastman. Excuse me. Some more Italian goodness. This movie is absolutely ridiculous. It's directed by Clyde Anderson. And if you're an Italian fan like I am, you know that's Claudio Vergasso. They have done so much great stuff with him. To not everybody, maybe, but I have fun with it. I like him definitely as a director, writer. He does a lot of interviews. I have a rap that he signed from Severin for Zombie 3. Anyway, Night Killer, HAA, only in Italy. Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 3. It's not, but okay. I believe that was a slipcase for it. I didn't end up getting that. I could be wrong, though. There's 2 special features with an interview with Claudio Vergasso and an interview with his wife, Rosella Drudi. So that's cool, and a trailer. Monster Hunter Movie Reviews, that's a mouthful, .com has said Claudio Vergasso delivers the goods. Specifically, scuzzy and derelict on every level. Apparently, I can't talk tonight. I apologize. But again, I wanted to do this, and I kind of threw it together. Claudio Vergasso is also of like Troll 2 fame and Zombie 4, but the kills on this are a bit ridiculous. They're very alike. Some, I think, pretty much all of them, if not all of them. But Night Killer, it's still fun. Almost have like a Freddy-esque type thing, type of killer. But Night Killer. And speaking of that, might as well just get some George Eastman in, huh? I highly recommend these releases. First up, Anthropophagus. If anybody doesn't know Anthropophagus, fucking check it out, man. If you like Italian movies, definitely check it out. It's another Joe D'Amato release. Joe D'Amato sickening classic. His queasiest, slimiest, and ultimately scariest film. I don't think it's scary, but there's some infamous things in there for sure. Joe D'Amato's gore classic, now uncut. An iconic cinema of gore. This came with like a little stuffed animal that was there forever, and now, of course, people are selling it for ridiculous money when you could have just bought it there, but whatever. Anthropophagus. And out of the 2, most people like Anthropophagus more. I love Anthropophagus, but I'm an absurd guy. Fucking awesome. I have 3 copies of this movie. Well, I have a lot of copies of Absurd too, but from different countries. But this is my favorite one. The sticker says limited to 3,000, limited edition of 3,000, bonus soundtrack, reversible cover art, which we'll go look at here. highly, highly, highly recommend Absurd. Like I said, if you like sleazy, gory Italian movies, it's a lot of fun. Jody Amato's splatter epic, now authorized and uncut for the first time ever in America. This one came out in 2018. Really top-notch gore. The film definitely gives the audience what it wants. That's morbidlybeautiful.com. One gory mother. D'Amato gives gratuitous a whole new meaning. That's from Asteria Lives. It has the alternate Italian cut, Rosso Sangui. I don't know how you say that. There is an interview with the actor, writer, producer. There is D'Amato on video, archived interview with the director. A biker, uncredited. It is a featurette with Michele Soave, who started as an actor in Italy. You'd know him if you saw him. He did some all over the place, really. Lucio Fulci stuff, but then he went on to direct like Cemetery Man and Stage Fright. But Absurd, this would also be in my top 5. So if you're kind of keeping track of the ones that I really, really recommend, but go with what sound good to you. But Absurd is so good. Some great kills in it too. Like there is a kill that lasts a while. It's a pretty brutal kill where George Eastman's Monster Hunter is an alternate title. Holds a woman's head in a stove until it basically just burns off. Well, not off, but burns are pretty good. Absurd. All right. The next one is kind of a 3-way here. Lucio Fulci is getting another great release from Severin coming up for New Gladiators, or can't remember what they called it. Something 2072. I can't remember. But I'm excited to get that. I don't have that on Blu-ray. It's going to gladly go into my Lucio Fulci big collection that I have by itself. They put out Demonia, and that's the slip. I don't know if you can still get the slip anymore. But let's see. Blood-sucking Geek says, Fulci goes all out nunsploitation as we expect from the maestro of gore. There is no shortage of the red stuff. Fulci's nunsploitation shocker scanned in 4K for the first time ever. Quite cool goes to say, ripe for revisit by fans of Fulci or demonic cinema. A very entertaining work with atmospheric sequences, punctured loudly by brutal gore. Yeah. Highly recommend Demonia, especially if you're a Lucio Fulci fan and you don't have it. There's a good chance if you're a big Lucio Fulci fan, it's already in your collection. But Demonia is pretty good. It's from 1990, so it's late in his career. And I know a lot of people aren't as into that stuff as his earlier horror stuff, and I get it. That's his best time, man. He was putting out some great stuff. I have a whole episode about Zombie on the channel here that you could check out. But that's the back of the slip. Another one that came out at the same time, Enigma. This one's a bit interesting. There is a kill where a girl gets smothered by snails. She's literally covered all in snails. It's got like, I don't know, what would I say? Like a Patrick Carey-ish type kind of thing to it. I know I put the sticker on the back of that. I know a lot of people don't save stickers like that. I do. I like them, but yeah, Enigma. I definitely recommend that. Lucio Fulci's batshit fan favorite. The Horror goes on to say, everything 80s horror. The amount of gore fits the film tone perfectly. Awesome Fulci. Terrifically fun movie that goes to work its way into our regular rotation. That's from Bloody Disgusting, so that's cool. There is a commentary with the author of Splintered Visions. There is an interview with the screenwriter, and there is a featurette, prizing late day Fulci featurette. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. And it comes with the score. So, 1987 Fulci, later Fulci. It's you can get it's in Italian and English. But Enigma. I realized I don't think I said what was on Demonia, so I'll do that real quick. Demonia has an interview with the director, an interview with Fulci on the set of Demonia, of Skulls and Bones, interview with the camera operator, and an audio commentary. Oh, that was great. I remember that. There's an audio commentary with Stephen Thrower on here. So, yes, Demonia. Special feature-wise. If I had to pick between the two, I think I'd pick Demonia, but I don't know. I have a soft spot for Enigma. Enigma's pretty crazy. As it said, batshit crazy. I believe it was on that. Demonia also comes, doesn't it? Does it? No, it doesn't. Okay. Couldn't remember if that one came with the soundtrack, because they do that a lot. Or the score. They say soundtrack, I say score. This is a 2017 release, and in 2017 is when I saw this. Demonia and Enigma I had seen years and years and years ago. I had them on DVD in my first Lucio Fulci collection on DVD. I had a Lucio Fulci collection on VHS as well. This was a new one for me. I heard about it. It was a bit infamous. Finally saw it. Okay. Definitely something else. It's very sexual. There is a scene with a I don't know how to describe it. It's, let's just say there's an instrument in a certain area, and he plays it until she has an orgasm. But I'm, of course, talking about Devil's Honey. This movie is something else. This is not your gore Lucio Fulci. I love all Lucio Fulci. Anything I see, bring it on. I'll take it. DocTerror.com says, pitch perfect sleazy mania. It embodies the spirit of the 80s Eurotrash sexploitation with every frame, and it's also distinctly a Fulci film. Lucio Fulci's extreme erotic shocker, now uncut and uncensored, restored for the first time in America. Definitely a rarely seen of his movies. There's a ton of special features. There's an interview with Brett Hazley, who has worked with Lucio a bit. He was on Demonia. And what was the other one? Touch of Death, I think he was on. I could be wrong on that, but I think he was. I could be wrong. Sometimes I mix up certain actors from there. There's an interview with actress Caroline Clary. There is another interview with the producer, an interview with the composer, an interview with Stephen Thrower. I'll buy a release because Stephen Thrower's on it. I'll be honest. Sometimes I'm like, I don't know about the movie, but Stephen Thrower's on it, so I'll get it. Kind of like, I've always not minded Jess Franco. I do like some Jess Franco stuff. For instance, I don't even know if you can get this. This is a good example of how long I've been buying stuff from Severin. This is 2008. Bloody Moon. This might be the first Jess Franco I ever saw. Jess Franco is an acquired taste, for sure. But Stephen Thrower's on a lot of them, and he definitely helps that. But yes, he has an interview on here. There's an essay with the author of Splintered Visions, alternate opening, and theatrical trailer. This is in Italian and English, but Devil's Honey. This would be like a top 10. Not top 5, but top 10 for Severin. Okay, a couple left. These I'm going to recommend together. I believe these will be on sale. I'm talking about Zombie 3 and Zombie 4. I like Zombie 3 much more than Zombie 4. A lot of people don't like it. I even like Zombie 5, excuse me. Killing Birds. It's cool that Vinegar Syndrome released it. But we'll go quickly into Zombie 3. I always thought Zombie 3 was pretty good, and I didn't think it deserved the flack that it gets. But I know people are always trying to compare it to, say, Zombie or the bigger Italian movies, and it's not that. It's not going to be that good, but it's still good. I really like it. I think the art's cool. But this one also comes with the sound, the score, the soundtrack. It says directed by Lucio Fulci, and that was there's a bit of a mishmash with it. Lucio Fulci got sick, unfortunately. I think they say maybe half. I know everybody said different things. I'm gonna go with about half he directed, if not more, maybe 3/4. But Bruno Mattei and Claudio Fragasso and his wife. Claudio Fragasso. They came in, and Bruno Mattei came in to finish it. Claudio Fragasso wrote the story and the screenplay. But I really do recommend this. I really do. This would be like a top... This might be a top 5, top 10 Severin as well. Bloody Good Horror says, just classic. Everything you ever heard about it is true, and oh, so much more. That's a great word. Yes, I'm gonna say yes. Go with that. A riotous entertainment. It's pure daft entertainment of the highest order. But yeah, I'm gonna actually read this the synopsis on here. Shortly before completing the sequel to the classic Zombie, the legendary Lucio Fulci became ill and left the Philippines-based production. But when director Bruno Mattei and writers Claudio Fragasso and Rosella Drudi of Troll 2 fame stepped in to finish, the result became a most insanely enjoyable zombie romp in Euro cult history. And that's one thing that's different with Severin synopsis. They tell a lot. They tell a lot in like background stuff or things people have said about it before they get into like what the movie's about. And sometimes they don't even really get too deep into that, which is fine. But this one does a little bit. After a deadly virus is stolen from a government facility, it will unleash a wildly entertaining combination of Fulci's signature extreme violence, Mattei Fragasso style surreal logic, and big bloody buckets of goo-spewing mayhem that must be seen to believed. And then starring this total blast, now uncut. The special features, there's quite a bit of stuff. There's interviews with Claudio Fragasso and his wife Rosella Drudi. I could be saying her name wrong. I apologize. Interview with actor stuntman. Interview with replacement director Bruno Mattei. And interview with actress Marina Lowy. Interview with the effects artist. Audio commentary with stars. But yeah, Zombie 3 is a lot of fun. I really think that it's underrated and doesn't deserve as much flack as it gets. Now, Zombie 4, on the other hand, I don't think I can give it as much praise, but I do recommend it. It's cool to have both, really. This one is not a Lucio Fulci movie. And really, none of these movies like necessarily connect. They're not really sequels to Zombie, but is there really any sequels to Zombie? Zombie is supposed to be a sequel to Dawn of the Dead. Like, none of these actually connect, but if you ever want to hear some of that stuff with, like, demons, for instance, Joe Bob has explained it very well on his first back last drive-in, but I digress. Popcorn Pictures talks about Zombie 4 saying a grade Z, a grand Z-grade movie, plenty of grim stuff for gorehounds and goofy charm that's impossible to hate on. Well, some people do, unfortunately. This one's directed by Clyde Anderson, who we should know by now is Claudio Fracasso. It's a collaboration with him and his wife, Rosella Drudy. And the horror says, hideously brilliant. Zombie 4 reveals its tawdriness as a nearly every turn. What? It was its tawdriness at every turn. That's what it says. Okay. From the creators of Troll 2 and Monster Dog. Monster Dog isn't too bad, too. That's another Clyde Anderson. Production. Stars Alice Cooper. It's really weird to see an Alice Cooper dubbed, and it's not Alice Cooper's voice. I'm a huge Alice Cooper fan. I have every one of his albums. But anyway, I digress. There isn't as many special features on this, but it does include the soundtrack, or the score. It has an interview, another interview for this one with Claudio Fracasso and his wife Rosella Drudy. It has an interview with actor Chuck Payton. It has an interview with actress Candace Daly, behind-the-scenes footage, and trailer. Zombie 4. If you were in a situation where, because these will definitely be on sale, do I want Zombie 3 or Zombie 4? Zombie 3. I recommend Zombie 3 over 4, but they're still good. If you can get both, get both. Now, one of my all-time favorites. This is in top 5. I had a lot of fun with this. Never seen it before until I got it. It's Killer Crocodile and Killer Crocodile 2. I love water horror. I call it. I know that's weird to say. I don't know if a lot of people call it that. I do. Killer Crocodile, I think, is a pretty good monster. I guess you could call it a monster movie, but it is Italian. But it's a lot of fun. The sequel, I really like the sequel too. A lot of people didn't like the sequel, but it comes with both. I think that's pretty cool. Don't know, again, if you can get the slipcover still, but on the Killer Crocodile 2 disc, it has a documentary about Master Effects Giotto di Rossi, who passed away kind of recently. He was huge in the Italian world, and that documentary is so good. I knew he was in the Italian world, but I didn't know the stuff that he did the effects on. Like he did, what was it, Rambo 3? He did a lot of stuff, but that's a really great documentary. If anything, the great documentary. But again, I love both movies, and I totally recommend Killer Crocodile. Other than the documentary, it has an interview with Giotto di Rossi, which is cool. Again, I know I'm butchering names. I apologize. An interview with actor Pietro Genidri. Another interview with actor Richard Anthony Crina. And It Crawls, interview with the cinematographer. If you like, I don't know, like Jaws, Piranha, any kind of Killer Crocodile type movies, I guess, or whatever, I definitely recommend this. I love watching movies like this in the summertime. But Film Bizarro says, a bloody good time, brilliant, hilarious, and fun. Kitley's Crypt, pure cheesy entertainment between the dialogue, the giant crocodile, and the gore. We highly recommend it, and so do I. Yes, Killer Crocodile and Killer Crocodile 2. Alright, only got a couple left here. I'm going to go into this one because this is not Italian, as 99% of them were. But this came out in 2019. Wow, already. This movie is definitely something else. I'm talking about The Boys Next Door. Directed by Penelope Sphere. How do you say her name? Spheres? I thought it was just Spheres. But she did the Decline of Western Civilization trilogy and Wayne's World, and there's so much good stuff on this. It stars Maxwell Caulfield, who was Rex Manning in Empire Records, and Charlie Sheen. And believe it or not, in this one, Maxwell is the psycho. But there is an audio commentary. There's, of course, an interview with Stephen Thrower. What Severin release would be complete without a Stephen Thrower interview? And I'm not being sarcastic. It always makes the release that much better with the inclusion of Stephen Thrower. There's an interview with actor Maxwell Caulfield and Christopher McDonald. There's an interview with street band performers that were in the movie. Interview with the director, Penelope Spheres. Interview with actor Kenneth Cortland. And some other stuff. Opening different title. Psychotronic Tourist. But yeah, this movie is something else. This is a trip of a movie, and I don't mean trip like they're fucking tripping. I just mean like a Violence in America kind of thing. This is a good way to describe it. Arrow in the Head has to say about it. Sadistic and gripping. Its violence screams Natural Born Killers and A Clockwork Orange. They're not wrong. And one other thing, Vincent Canby of New York Times has to say, grim and vivid, a very well-made movie about interarticulated despair and utter hopelessness, chilling as Malick's Badlands. Highly, highly, highly recommend this. Definitely pick this up. If you want something that's not horror, but is like just, I don't want to say shocking, but it's a really good, it was made in 84. It's a really good 80s movie that I had honestly never seen, but I had a lot of, I don't know if you could say the movie's fun, but it's something else. It gets in your head, I guess you could say that. And last but not least, of course, because this would be in probably my top 10 or even 5, this is another old release from 2007, Beyond the Darkness by Joe D'Amato. Some more Joe D'Amato. This movie is something else. This also came with the soundtrack. I don't know if it still does. I'm pretty sure you can still get it. But yeah, I have a few copies of this too from various companies. I really like it. It's this guy. It's almost there's like necrophilia kind of to it. But this one I will go into a bit of the synopsis as well. This psychosexual sickie featuring torture, cannibalism, necrophilia, unrequited love, and other perversions, totally uncensored and set to a pounding score by Goblin. Check this out if you haven't. It's something else. It's disgusting, but in the amazing Italian way that it could be. And there is an interview with Joe D'Amato. There's an interview with actress Franca Stappi. There is an interview with actress Cynthia Morilli. There's Goblin Reborn performed by Omega live in 2016, which is the other title for Beyond the Darkness, like the Italian title, I believe. Sinzilla says, a great movie, gory, kinky, surreal in a way only D'Amato could deliver. ClassicHorror.com says, one of the most sickening movies ever made. A film not to be missed by fans of graphic, intense horror. Yeah, this movie's something else. Highly recommend this. Definitely check it out. Alright, now that I plowed through some of my stuff, I did want to mention couple other quick things that will be on sale that I do recommend. I know this is a duh for some people if you don't have this, but what a better time to get it, I guess, when it's on sale. I bought it when it came in. But the Lindsay Baker Giallo collection. These are movies that was done by writer-director Umberto Lenzi and Carol Baker. There's some good shit in here. I would probably say my favorite would be So Sweet, So Perverse. But they're all pretty good. I had never seen Knife of Ice. That was pretty good. They're all just... Here, I'll show you. Sorry. Orgasmo. Oh, I already showed that. Quiet Place to Kill. Not to be confused with... There's another one that's also directed by Umberto Lenzi called something Place to Kill as well, or something like that. Wish I had it handy. But, actually I do. Give me 1 second. The Ideal Place. Is it Place? Yeah, The Ideal Place to Kill. What a way to confuse people. I'm not blaming Umberto Lenzi. I'm just saying. But this will definitely be on sale. If you like Giallo and you like Umberto Lenzi and you hadn't seen these movies, or even if you have, definitely get this. It's going to be on sale. Great box set. And then a couple others I wanted to quickly throw in. Not to really go into, but I had thought of them that I think you should definitely check out that will, in fact, be on sale. That's not Italian, and it's a more later day one. This was 2000. I was happy that they put this out. I had a DVD for a while, but this, it definitely looks great, and it has Jeffrey Combs in it, and Alice Cooper's in it, and Seth Green's in it. Is the what is it called? Attic Expeditions. One of the best mindfuck movies. It keeps you scratching your head and wondering what's going on. Repeated viewing as recommended. But yeah, there's an interview with Alice Cooper and Jeffrey Combs, an internet reunion. It has the CD soundtrack, and it has a cast and crew 20-year reunion, pandemic reunion, story of making Attic Expeditions. And it has an interview with Adam Rockoff, which I think that's how you say his name. He did some really good books, like Going to Pieces, and what is that one called? Oh, the horror for all the horror, or Love of Horror, something. I can't remember what it's called, but it was pretty good. But yeah, a couple other quick ones. Burial Ground, of course. If you don't have Burial Ground, I don't know if you can still get the slip. If not, it looks like this. This movie's something else. But I won't go too much into that. Definitely look up some stuff on it, because yeah. An inspired slaughter-a-thon, grand splatter, an Italian cannibal zombie tradition. And there's this weird relationship between this mother and her son, which is in reality a full-grown man. He's just short, so he's a kid, and there's a nipple scene. And Burial Ground is something else. The zombies are very different too. It's like those zombies that they kind of built the makeup on top of their face. I don't know, but it's pretty good. And this is a bit of an adventure movie that, lastly, I will recommend, and then I'll go into quick honorable mentions, is Massacre in Dinosaur Valley. I had actually seen this from 88 Films and enjoyed it, but I had to buy theirs too. This is one of the fucking slipcases that I heard are going to be a little bit easier to get into. Some great art, man. Pretty damn entertaining, possibly even brilliant. It's a film that only could have been directed by an Italian during the 80s. But yeah, there's a couple of interviews on here. There's deleted extended scenes, Italian credits. A highly recommended Spokio. I don't know how to say that. Spokio? I can't say it. Can't say the fucking name of the actor. Michael Spoko? I can't say it. Anyway, is a poor man's Indiana Jones by way of Bruce Campbell. Pure exploitive entertainment at its best. That's a great way to say this movie. But yeah, Massacre in Dinosaur Valley. I know I had a lot of recommendations, and this was long-winded, and it usually is. So, but that's fine. The couple that I wanted to just mention real quick, that were honorable mentions. This will not be in the sale, but the documentary on it is, in my opinion, better than the movie. So that's why it's an honorable mention. It will not be on sale, but Nosferatu in Venice. But there's a documentary on the later day Klaus Kinski, and my God, that fucking guy. See what I mean about the fucking... cool art. I got the pen. It's a cool, like, it's almost like a nudie pen, but it's really Klaus Kinski riding on the river in Italy. I watched this just a couple days ago, but the documentary is really good. The movie itself is good. I don't think it's great by any means. I was actually a little, like, hoping I would have liked it more, but the release alone is worth the documentary. And yeah, it is a bit batshit crazy, and yeah. But, and one that I didn't have here that I just thought of that I definitely would love to recommend. Oh yeah, hold on. I did have one other thing that I really wanted to recommend. Anyway, was the Luigi Cozzi Paganini horror. I do not have the Severin release, but I plan to get it. But I had to recommend these. The first one that I have is actually the UK one, because that's how I discovered them, and then I realized, oh, Severin put them out in the US, so, and David Gregory has talked about doing a third one, but they're so good. The documentaries for Video Nasties. That's the second one. That's the first one. I have this t-shirt. It's also the background to my iPod. Really cool art. I'm a bit of a weirdo with these, though. I cherish these. I watch them all the time. Well, not all the time, but very frequently. But as much as I love the documentaries, my favorite parts of them is the bonus discs, which Stephen Thrower's on a lot of them too, but is a little interview or like talk about the certain Video Nasties, and then they show the trailer, and then somebody else talks about them, or the same person. Stephen Thrower, I think, probably does the majority, a lot of them, not majority, but not all of them love the movies, but usually Stephen Thrower does. But that's what I like. I rewatch those so often. It's like you figure there's like 72. I mean, there was initial only the, 30-something? Whoops. But it's like that many featurettes. Think of it like that. And then the trailer of the movie. And then the last thing I wanted to recommend was actually, I wanted to get an Intervision in there. And actually, it's not because of Dark Harvest. I like Dark Harvest. I thought it was pretty good. But I would say I loved was Escapes. A little cool bonus movie. It was like a shot on video anthology horror. And it's hosted by Vincent Price. Really, really cool. It's an Intervision. It'll be super cheap. But I highly recommend Escapes. So, that was my Severin podcast for my favorite Severin and recommendations. I hope it helped out some people. I hope if anybody still is watching and listening to the end, awesome. Please like and subscribe if you would like. And yeah, so have fun with the sale, and we'll get some more Italian goodness and other things that Severin has to offer. I always have fun with Severin. I really like Severin. They're definitely one of my favorite labels, like, ever, and they're great, and the podcast is great. Check out the podcast. Check out the Severin Films podcast. with David Gregory and other people that work for Severin. It's a lot of fun. I find myself re-listening to them, like if I go to re-watch the movie, or I hadn't watched the movie since it came out, because they talk about their upcoming releases. So yeah. I also, this has nothing to do with that, but I am one of them that's actually excited for Overboard. I knew about it because of the podcast, but it's something different for them to release. And I like all types of movies. I don't just like horror or just like exploitation. I like all types of movies, and Overboard I really like, and I really like Goldie Hawn, and I really like Kurt Russell, so I'm excited for that one. Anyway, thanks for listening, and like I said, enjoy the sale, and this has been the Horror of It All Movie Podcast. I'm Eric. Until next time.